Hello, welcome to the Today SHOW Halton on your TV, Kojiko, hosted by the Disability Channel. I am your host. You know me best as Unstoppable Tracy, also known as Tracy Schmidt. Today I have a celebrity guest, Ken McCaw. He is a phenomenal guitar player. He's been on the stage with the likes of Bare Naked Ladies. He's in this project called the Awesome Music Project. It's about mental wellness, and folks like Chris Hadfield, the astronaut, and Sarah McLachlan are part of it. I met him traveling across Canada as part of Open Doors for Accessibility, a March of Dimes Canada project. And I've also seen him as a motivational speaker at an event called Mo Mondays. And I've also seen him in rock concerts called Rock for Dimes. So we just keep crossing paths all our life. So I thought it was about time that Halton got to meet my magnificent friend and ally and celebrity, Ken McCaw. So stay tuned after these messages to meet the magical Ken McCaw.
Jay Stoyan for the Disability Channel. I just want to announce that we're going to be having our 2022 Drone Ball Drop fundraiser. It's going to piggyback off our 2021 successful fundraiser here in Canada. So again, 2022 Drone Ball Drop fundraiser in the USA, supporting our employment programs, supporting persons with disabilities and veterans. For more information, go to www.thedisabilitychannel.ca.
Hey, I'm Tiger Williams, and you're watching the Disability Channel, and support Easter sales all year round, and thank you very much.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Today Show. My name is Chris Power, and I'll be taking over for Unstoppable Tracy. For more information, please go to thedisabilitychannel.ca.
Hello, Ken.
Hey, good morning, Tracy.
Ken,
good to see you.
It's so good to see you. Welcome to the Today SHOW Halton region. I don't know if you know, we are on your TV, Kojiko, and the Disability Channel is so proud to have you today. And I want to thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here.
So, Ken, you know, we could almost call it lifelong because we've been friends for so many years now, but I met you in the afterlife. I met you, I think, just as your debut CD, On the Other Hand, was coming out. But will you tell us a little bit about, you know, your life and what led you to the CD, On the Other Hand?
Well, the quick story is I've been a musician my whole life. Played, toured, recorded, loved being a musician. It was an integral part of who I am. And back in the fall of 2011, I experienced a stroke. And that stroke took away the use of my right arm, my right hand. It no longer functioned the way it used to. And so for me, that became a real challenge because a musician is who I am, who I was, who I will always be. And I couldn't imagine myself becoming an ex-musician. So that started a long process of learning to play the guitar with one hand. Thus, the title of the album is On the Other Hand.
Do you have one to flash on the screen? On the Other Hand. Oh my gosh. I play it in my car all the time.
Aw. Well, it was inspired by one of my therapists who, as I was just coming out of the hospital and doing some outpatient therapy, and I was looking for how I could get back into guitar, and I was just presuming my right arm, my right hand would start functioning again the way it used to. Yeah. And unfortunately, that wasn't to be, but she had the foresight to ask of me if I had ever considered some kind of one-handed guitar technique. And that had not occurred to me at that point, but it was just enough of a seed being planted that I felt, you know, there's something there that I could really pursue and it just might work. And so away we went.
One thing leads to another. and this
Yeah.
incredible message of resiliency and not losing your creative soul, like it's in your DNA just because you had a stroke. And you're still a very funny man. You got so much humor, and now you're this on demand speaker on top of musician.
Well, that's an interesting thing because I've always been in front of audiences playing, and oftentimes I'd be at the back of the band. I was never the singer at the front. But now that comfort with being on stage has really come to serve me well, as I can now speak at different events um, and play concerts, do shows, and really leverage what I have. Um, and leveraging what I have is a big thing for me. When I learned to play guitar again, it wasn't about playing guitar the way I used to, about playing everything that I used to do it the way I used to do it. My goal was simply, I need to make music with my guitar.
Yeah.
And as soon as my goal became that, the options were wide open. And I could then just say, here's a guitar, here's some strings. What do I do with them? How do I make them work for me? And
Yeah.
that was an amazingly liberating thought, just to say, I can now just make music with my guitar.
It's kind of, so many people that stop and they don't get started because they don't know how they're going to do it. Right. And at first you're like, how am I going to be a musician with one hand? But when you let that go, it looks like I triggered something. Your eyes just went wild on me. What were you thinking?
Well, there is no, like, I didn't have a playbook to go by to learn to do this again. It
But I'm
was
bummed.
simply, yes,
Yeah.
playbook. Thank you for catching that, Tracy.
Yeah.
But really, it was taking basically an inventory of what do I have, what does guitar offer, how does it work, and not coming into it with any presuppositions about what it should be. And one of the big things was I tuned my guitar very differently than I used to,
Oh,
and that allowed the one-hand technique to really work for me. There's a whole other bunch of things that I did that are part of the whole equation, but really, it's don't take any of your pre-established ideas of how things should be into what they will be.
it's funny. I love talking with you, and I saw you a few weeks ago down the road at my aunt's. We were having a fun Christmas show. It's actually a couple months ago now. Wow. And you were saying that day, and you often say from the stage this idea or something along the lines of music changes everything. And now you're the storyteller as well. Can you tell us a bit more about what that means to you when I say that, or what do you mean?
Well, everybody can relate to music in one way or another. They've
Mm,
got their favorite song, or a song takes them back to a particular moment in time, a particular event, and music seems to be very universal, not even just within our culture, but across cultures. And so the fact that music was the thing that I held on to and that I grasped coming back into my post-stroke life, it was very valuable to me that it was that one universal thing that music can be to all people. And when I speak, when I play and perform in different events, everybody takes away their own little thing from it.
mm.
There's no, oh, here's the story and this is what you must get. Because music means something just a little bit different to every single person that hears it.
And I can't wait for the edited version. Right now, we are doing a live recording, and Facebook's out there, and we're going to be on YouTube, but we're going to edit this so that it's a show for your TV. So, people, you've got to come back and hear a piece of Ken and his music. And I tell you, I could listen to whatever I want in my car. And I've got a lot going on right now. My mom's got recently acquired dementia, and it's a real learning curve for me. And who fills my soul, who just gets me present and fully absorbed and rocking it out in my car, is Ken. And it's not just because he's my friend, it's because it's what moves me, it's what absorbs me. And I love hearing this whole accelerated learning journey to find music again, and how that's kind of just accelerated awareness for the world when you share your journey. It's so phenomenal. And folks, he has been on stage with Bare Naked Ladies, and he's in a project that involves folks like Chris Hatfield and Sarah McLachlan. And so please stay tuned for right after these messages, because we have the Awesome Music Project. That's right, that's what it's called, the Awesome Music Project. So after the break, we're going to hear more about some of the celebrity experiences and the Awesome Music Project and its role with mental health right after these messages.
Hi, I am the host of Veterans Onward to Prosperity, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven, and I have a public announcement to share. February 22nd, 2022, so that's 2022, is a very special day. We have a special day lined up with events that not only will bring awareness to a very serious issue that is felt here in the United States, and I'm told all around the world, but military suicide is on the rise, folks. Military suicide is something that can definitely be prevented, and we're certainly going to work toward preventing it. Learn more about this at 2-22TOSAVE.com. That's 2-22 T as in Tom, O as in Oscar, save22.com. That's 222 to save22.com. And join us and be a part of that very special day that we honor to protect and prevent our military brothers and sisters from committing suicide.
Hi, I'm Casey McCaw, and be sure to watch Press Box on the Disability Channel. It's some great stuff we're covering, so be sure to tune in. Again, I'm Casey McCaw, reporting for the Disability Channel, and I'll see you soon.
Ken and listeners, welcome back to your TV channel, Kojiko, the Today Show with Unstoppable Tracy and Ken McCaw. Now, Ken is a phenomenal musician, and he has a website, kenmccaw.ca, and he was right before the pandemic involved in this huge project called the Awesome Music Project. Ken, can you tell folks a little bit about the Awesome Music Project?
Absolutely. My involvement in this came about when I was speaking at an event at Wilfrid Laurier University. And a couple of the guys behind the Awesome Music Project were there in attendance and approached me to find out about if I would be interested in contributing to it. And what it is, it's primarily a book as a starting point, where there are 101 stories of musicians from, well, not even musicians, musical stories from various people, various backgrounds, from, you know, stars, as you said, like Sarah McLachlan, Michael Bublé, and Chris Hadfield, and on and on and on. And, but to everyday people like myself who had a particular moment with music, a story related to music that made all the difference in their life and at a key moment in their life. And so I, of course, decided to join in. I couldn't say no. And so now we had done a couple of shows, a couple of the book release, and another project down in Southwestern Ontario. And then COVID came along and kind of slowed things down a bit, but it's an amazing, amazing, not just a book, because the book is a starting point, but it's a movement to really get people involved and recognize the value of storytelling about music related to their mental health, and how those things you can be supportive. Music can be the biggest support in a lot of people's mental health journey. So if you went to the Awesome Music Project online, you would find some amazing things, and it will continue growing and growing as time goes by.
Well, it's very exciting when you tap into it. The stories and some of the solutions to music just really demonstrate some live examples of how it's relevant and how it's impactful. And throughout the whole process of the Awesome Music Project, it's also focused on being accessible, like able to access, which is interesting piece of the puzzle. Also in terms of mental wellness and mental health out there in a real practical way. Like, how does it benefit everybody? And it's so extraordinary. What's one of your favorite stories or moments that you remember in your reviewing of, we can't hear all 101 stories, but any stand out for you?
Definitely one of the stories that stands out for me is a member of the Canadian Armed Forces, Shaker, who was in Haiti when there was an earthquake down there. He was stationed there, and he was buried alive in that earthquake. And one of the things that stood out to him was there's a song from originally Bruce Cockburn, but then Bare Naked Ladies did a cover of it, called "Lovers in a Dangerous Time." And there's a particular line in that song that says, "You got to kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight." And for him, buried alive as a result of this earthquake, which, you know, I can't even imagine what that's like. But he had that song running through his head, that particular line running through his head, on and on. That was the thing that kept him going, that kept him feeling like there was a way out. And so when we did the book release, he got up and told this story of how this all happened. And then the two guys, Jim and Ed from Bare Naked Ladies, got up and did "Lovers in a Dangerous Time" live in front of the audience. What a moment, my goodness. But it's one of those things where that musical seed was planted ages ago in his mind. Him having no idea the value it would have one day when he encountered a situation that nobody could have imagined. So that particular story certainly is a highlight for me. And having met him and his family, just wonderful people.
Oh my gosh, Ken, I don't know, you can't see it, but I have goosebumps. The hair on my arms are standing up hearing that story. I can't imagine you being live there when that was all going on, and then
unbelievable.
Bare Naked Ladies playing this song, and oh my gosh, I can hear it resonating in my head. I'm afraid school had me singing the yodeling goat version of Sound of Music. So, but I'm very tempted to break out into song right now. I can't wait for our listeners to hear a piece of your music when they watch the edited version of this show, which is extraordinary. So, any tips or tricks about music and COVID and the impact on people with disabilities, or what's been happening for you the last 2 years and what's coming up next?
Well, certainly COVID as an opportunity is we are at home for extended periods of time, which
Yeah.
as a creative person offers the opportunity to create more output, to do more experimentation, to do more creative things that you might otherwise not have the time to. On the other
Right.
hand, um, the live performance part of us really wants to get back out there in front of people and
Yes.
be have an audience and feel that interaction and feel the impact that we know music can have for everybody.
And I didn't miss that. On the other hand, out there, that's so relevant for you and I, you with having had your stroke and me being a one-handed girl, and with the connection with your CD. On the other hand, is your CD accessible? Are people able to purchase it or acquire it or get samples from it?
Up until now, it's only ever been available where I've been playing, and at some point, I will make it available online elsewhere. Um, right now, I'm also working on my next album,
Oh,
so I can maybe kind of co-release them. This one's from back in 2017, and it was basically done as a statement. It was a here I am in 2017. What can I do with my guitar with one hand? And so I just put it together, recorded it at a great studio in Toronto called Canterbury, and they were amazing people to work with. And then now, as I've been having this creative time through COVID, I've come up with some other really interesting stuff that I can't wait to get out there. Um, Part of me is that picky kind of person that really wants to get it just right,
yes.
and I have to learn to let go of that a bit because I just have to get it out there.
You do. You do.
Yeah,
And you're 5 years more evolved with your technique and your stages and your celebrity status, right? It's out there. And you're speaking, which is kind of a fun combination where your music and talk, which is phenomenal. So, how do people find you? How does Halton Region bring you out to the pubs when the pandemic shutdown lifts? And it's happening. We're starting to be able to get out there a little more.
it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yes. And people's events, like for their own, I don't know, do you do weddings and what all of the bits and pieces? How does Halton reach and tap into you?
Well, certainly the easiest is kenmccaw.ca.
Yes.
That's my website. But you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook. Um, I have a presence in both of them. I'm not a super active social media person. I should do more of it. I feel compelled to, but again, that side of me that wants to only put out stuff that's perfect really holds me back, and I gotta let go of it.
Yep. And I bet you a lot
You're
of
and
people out
you're my
there.
model for that. You just do stuff and you just get it all out there, and I love that.
Yes, I just get it out. Clearly perfection is I'm the role model of not perfection, but I am the role model for taking action. And definitely, I think that's the end goal is take action. And you did. You got the album
Absolutely.
out. And so follow your own mantra of on the other hand for your next one. And so, folks, one of the tricks that I had when I was searching Ken was that there's two C's, right, Ken?
Yeah.
KenMcCaw
Yep.
.ca
Yeah.
for Canada.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh, Ken. Any final words or things that you want to share, a mantra or the closing of some of your talks that you would like to share with our listeners? Some with disabilities, many just community advocates out there that you would like to stretch the Halton community around.
Well, for me, I would say playing guitar with two hands is for beginners.
I love it.
And come out and see one of my shows, one of my presentations, and you'll understand the context of that.
Ken, it has been, as always, an absolute pleasure. I cannot wait.
For me too.
Aw, I'm so lucky. So lucky you're in my life. I'm so lucky you're in my car every time, although I'm not driving as much, that you are with me whenever I am on the road looking for some peace and want to just fully absorb and fill my soul. And you're my soul filler, and you were my soul filler again today.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you.
Folks, reach out, get him to send you a CD. It's not much for shipping and handling, and definitely hire him for your events in the Halton region. You're not-for-profits, you're for-profits. You want to get folks with their eyes open, accelerating learning, realizing that the world can be relevant and impactful through music. Well, you will love the sound, and you will love the living example of On the Other Hand with Ken McCaw. Thanks for listening to the Today Show in the Halton region with Unstoppable Tracy and Ken McCaw on the Disability Channel. This is, for folks that don't know, my last show with the Halton region, and I'm moving over to the Today Show, Toronto. And so you're going to see me one more time as I introduce the new host of the Halton region Today Show, Chris Powers. So I look forward to and am humbled and honored to have my very special guest, Ken McCaw, as my last show. Take care, Ken. Take care, listeners. And take care, Halton. Many positive thoughts your way.